Paul, Jill, I hope you can hear the island theme music that just happens to be playing the second Barnes and Noble opens up today. And of course, the old white lady in the sea, that's the theme of what I'm looking for your help. Financing, executive producing, creating an Enter-cation empire. Edutainment, right? Pivoted. Start with the entertainment, then filter in the education. All right, look, I have been mobile homing for 6 weeks. This is my dedication, my certainty that stand-up philosophy is something the world needs. Now, I have the iceberg model of my career. The top of the iceberg, tippy tip tip, is the hashtag RedheadedSheHulk. That's the stand-up philosophy. That's the stuff that makes me feel alive. That's the figuring out how to spend the next years operating at a Dave Chappelle level. That's my goal. That's why it's all hashtag Dave Chappelle challenge. Also, this investment represents giving me the runway to become the next Dave Chappelle, cross-dressed with Eddie Izzard, the next Hannah Gadsby. Give me a Netflix exec. Sold. Now, there's also the feature film, Londolozi, which is The Fifth Element crossed with Black Panther, but in real-life Botswana, not make-believe Wakanda, crossed with A Wrinkle in Time, where love plus science plus philosophy saves human lives. Let's reunite Lamont Rucker and Jill Scott on screen, co-starring moi. And look, as an executive producer, you got the whole Tyler Perry verse, wanting to see what Lamont and Jill get up to on screen. Then the #1 ladies detective agency, which is thematically pretty much the sort of feature film I'm trying to create. The audience for the #1 ladies detective agency books, hundreds of millions of people would want to see Jill reprise that role. And so the kind of, is it real life? Is it fiction? Well, that's how we demonstrate racial harmony. Take somebody like me who's willing to lead with demonstrating love for Black humans while also becoming the Trojan giraffe of whiteness. So, first things first, when I'm asking, I got it all, it's all in existence. It's both sides, right? Find some time in your busy schedule. Let's talk about where we have overlaps. Let's talk about how you can help me get a funding package that gives me another 18 months to transform my body and mind away from the fact that I was almost dead. That's why I'm homeless. There's no people in my life. I really was a goner. Spent a whole decade hibernating. That's the polar bear into giraffe situation. But I mean, how perfect is that? Because it really does replicate the change from being entirely pale to now I'm getting my giraffe patterns on. The science of melanin. If you've caught that comment that came out of improv yesterday, but that's really what I'm trying to do, is bring the science of melanin to the world through an Enter-cation empire. And the science of melanin talks about solving global warming. It talks about, because we need 9 as 1 species to get that done. It talks about the ever-escalating burden of chronic disease and mental illness. Well, they're environmental illnesses. I want to create the world that our species deserves. I want to pivot from all of the mechanistic, linear, rigid, judgment and punishment-based civilizational rules into creative, analytically creative ways of uniting our whole species so that we can be the generation of adults who don't overconsume as the world hits the tipping point of self-extincting our species, we can be the generation, especially the powerhouse of this kind of combination right here. As I said, I got a lot. So all I've been doing for the past 2 years is learning from you in a fully embodied way and how to become my own sort of soulpreneurship instigator and trying to stay alive. It's a fascinating story. First little bit of work that is I'm asking for the funding. I'm gonna go to the Caribbean. I'm gonna finish losing the weight. I'm gonna get stage persona fit, and then it's on. So, there's a web series about evaporating weight, but there's also a great one at the intersection of us, which is 52 first dates. I've only ever been asked out on one date my whole life. And yes, it happened through better recall. Let's give me a chance to meet 52 really smart, intellectual, professional Black men. First season, 26 episodes in the Caribbean. Second season, 26 episodes in Africa. Harmony. So,